Hello everyone, your voice here and welcome to the channel Sansevieria 101. So for this episode we're going to feature a species or one of the species that was found or were found in Pemba, Mozambique. So as far as I know, there are four species, Sansevieria species that were found in Pemba that are very similar to each other. So the one that I am featuring for you right now is actually Pemba type 3. So it is written in the market as Sansevieria SP Pemba type 3. So I've already featured Sansevieria Pemba type 1 and Sansevieria Pemba type 2. Type 1 is the palest in terms of coloration. It is even dubbed as Pemba silver. And Pemba type 3 is the darkest among the Sansevieria species that were found in Pemba, Mozambique. So there could be other species that are found or that were found in Mozambique, but in Pemba, these are the four types that are almost very similar to each other in terms of form and morphology. So there are, in fact, actually, I'm seeing another species, but I'm not familiar with it, and I have not acquired it yet. It's having the name of or ID as Pemba Bay, but I'm not sure because I think it is not part of the four types of Pemba that were collected by Obete Batista. Obete Batista is the one that collected them in the wild. So in the wild, the Sansevieria Pemba, the four types of Sansevieria Pemba are no longer existing, so that means they're extinct in the natural environment that they originally grow. Thankfully, someone was able to collect them before they were removed from the area because what happened might be the locality converted them into settlements or plantation for crops. I'm not sure what really happened, but that was what I was told. They are not existing in the original place where they were collected. So fortunately, Abate was able to give some to a fellow collector, which is Miss Fifi. Miss Fifi is one of my friends. She was able to ship some of the Pemba species to a fellow collector here in the Philippines. And then that collector also shared or sold some of the Pemba species to me. So I have all the four types. I have managed to feature Sansevieria Pemba type 1 and type 2. I'm now featuring for you type 3, which is the darkest of them. Pemba type 1 is the lightest or palest in coloration, almost silvery, and is having the alias of Pemba silver. There is also something they call that Pemba Bay, but I'm not sure if it is included with the four types of Sansevieria species that were found in Pemba, Mozambique. So this is how it has grown now, and all four types are very similar in growth to each other and morphology. They usually have very thin base part of the leaf, or the leaf part wherein it's closest to the base area or the core. It's actually having this form. It's curling up, and I have observed that in some of the specimen of Sansevieria SP Pemba that I have, but in some cases they would grow with also thick part of the leaf that are close to the core area or base area of the plant. So but at times they would form this very thin that looks like a spoon handle. There are times, especially Pemba type 1, that it would look spoon-like in form. So there is something that you can hold on to, then the topmost portion will be flat. So in a bit I have decided to transfer it because I think it needs more room to grow. Actually, Pemba are quite large plants. In fact, this one is quite long, as I'm showing you, and they grow to almost 2 feet, more than 2 feet, maybe 2 to 3 feet. But right now, what the specimen that I'm showing you is almost 2 feet. So later on, we'll take measurements of it. But right now, I'm just giving you a brief information about how they were found, and how lucky we are to have them in our collection, because like I mentioned, they are already extinct in the place of origin. So I have managed to procure all four types of Pemba. I'm not sure if Pemba Bay is also the same species. I don't have that yet, and hopefully I can also acquire that in the future. But right now, we will just be discussing the four types. So right after we're done with Pemba type 3, we will be featuring type 4 with inflorescence. So among the Pemba species that I have collected, the first to bloom for me is Pemba type 4. So Miss Fifi was able to have Pemba type 1 and type 2 or type 3 bloom for her, and she managed to cross it with each other. So I don't have what she had managed to successfully cross yet, but hopefully I can also acquire the hybrids of Miss Fifi. So going back, I'll be, like I mentioned, repotting Pemba type 3 to a bigger pot, because right now it's in an 8-inch pot. The pot shape is octagonal, so it has 8 sides, and the length of the pot from side to side is also 8 inches. The deepness, or how deep it is 5.5, I think, or just 5 inch. And we will be transferring into a 10-inch diameter pot, and the depth is also 10-inch. So this is actually a mold from your drinking water gallon. So the round gallon, you cut it almost on the upper portion, and then I have someone make a mold for me, and this is actually cement, so it's kind of hard, and most of my Sansevierias that grow very large are planted in the setup, although it's very hard. But in my experience of planting them in concrete pots is that they grow very large, and for me, I would say I have grown them successfully in that setup. So folks, I'll be back, and I'll perhaps show you an overlay of how I repotted it, and include it on this video. So please stay tuned, as I will be also discussing right after repotting it the characteristics of Sansevieria Pemba type 3. Alright, folks, so we're back, and we have actually successfully replanted Sansevieria SP Pemba Type 3. And I've shown you, actually, it was not an overlay, but it is in time lapse on how I repotted it, and I've shown you how I did it. I've shown you the root system. It's quite healthy, and in fact, I'm very happy that there are two offshoots that are growing beneath or on the bottom side of the root system. So I just hope that they won't continually grow downwards, but curve upwards to sprout out, because there are instances wherein some would just grow continually grow downwards, and will not be able to, or it will take a very long time for them to find its way upwards. However, hopefully we can see two offshoots growing up in the future, and as we have discussed, or as I have promised, we will be taking measurements of this plant. So I actually have this trusty measuring tape to measure the width of this Sansevieria species. So upon measuring the widest leaf that it can grow from this point, this is actually the widest, is 3.5 of an inch. So the other one would be just 2.8. This one is the longer one is actually thinner, and there, like I mentioned, there are really times wherein they would grow spoon-like in appearance. You can handle which this one is the spoon handle, and this one is your spoon. So there are times that they would grow spoon-like. However, there are times that they would just grow normal flat leaf of a broadleaf Sansevieria type. So aside from that, we have measured the leaf width. I no longer need to use a caliper to measure the leaf width. It's easier to actually use the measuring tape. So as well as the leaf length, would the first one, the first leaf that I'm measuring is 14, and the longer one would be, it's actually more convenient to use the measuring tape, because you would actually accurately measure the length of the leaf. So I'm measuring, the longest one so far is 21 inches. That's where 21.1 inch. That's where my finger ended up when measuring the longest leaf size of Sansevieria Pemba or Sansevieria SP Pemba Type 3. So they could, like I mentioned, they could reach over 2 feet, maybe just below 3 feet. I haven't seen them grow 4 feet, but in the future I might update you folks if I'm able to grow Pembas more than 4 feet. So that's it for the data regarding the leaf measurements for this specimen alone. So next one would be checking the leaf texture. So the front part of the leaf is called adaxial in botanical terms, and I'm feeling it vertically, and I feel it as slightly rough. Horizontally, you'd feel that there are bumps, because these the darker green patterns are usually protruding in the leaf, in my experience. That's how I felt the front part. The back part of the leaf, I would say the same, feeling it horizontally, it's slightly rough, and you'd feel some bumps on it. That's horizontally. Vertically, still slightly rough to the touch. So that's how the leaf surface texture of Sansevieria Pemba type 3 is. So aside from that, next would be this is the pattern, like I mentioned, the pattern of Sansevieria Pemba type 3 is actually very dark. The darker ones are actually the leaf pattern. It's I don't think it's mottled because um, they're like readings from seismograph. I would say, because it's going up and down, or spikes when you measure earthquakes. So when you see the reading, they would go up and down, up and down. So that's how the pattern, as I would describe it to be. So the pattern is dark green. The base coloration of the leaf is really a pale silvery color, but like I mentioned, almost all the parts of the leaf would be uh, dark green in color. So aside from that, the leaf tips, this is how they would look like. It has some tubulate part on it that was already what you say, broken part of the leaf tip. But I haven't really seen the initial growth of or the really juvenile new leaf that's growing from the core. But I would say that the leaf tips are still subulate. You can see, I'm not sure if you're able to see that, but you can still see the subulate tip, and the other one, because it's already old, it might have been broken due to handling or whatever the case may be. So that's how the tip of the plant looks like. There's some cobwebs in the leaf that I saw. So that's one of the perks of repotting your plant, is you see some problems on it, you can still remedy them, versus the ones that you've left alone for a long time. I'm sure that if you haven't checked them, there would be some pests or something on there that's on your plant that's already situated. So you might as well check if they're pest or if they're harmful for your plant. Then you should remove them. That's the pattern of the plant. This is the pattern of the back part. I may have to remove the phone so you can see the back part, or I can show you the back part. Some of the experts for Pemba would use the back part to identify the Pemba types, but for me, I can easily describe the leaf part of the Sansevieria Pemba for you, so I don't really need to check the back part to identify which type of Pembas I am having, or the ones that are sold in the market. So folks, I think this is it for this content. So if you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to leave a comment below. And if you like what I have featured for you, please do subscribe to our channel. Would appreciate it. So thank you for watching, and you all have a great day.